afternoon, everyone. I am Marita Davis Johnson, and I chair the County Operations Committee, better known as OPS. The commissioners that sit on the committee with me are Commissioner Robert Patrick and Commissioner Ladina Bowden. We're joined today by Commissioner Ted Terry and our presiding officer, Commissioner Michelle Long Spears. Have either of you had an opportunity to read the minutes for the November the 24th meeting?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that item is approved. We're gonna skip down to the agenda items, number 3. And the first agenda item is in all commission districts, rapid response to food emergency and food resilience HUD initiative purchasing policy exemption consists of the implementation of a 2-phase initiative to address health, immediate hunger, relief, and long-term community resilience. A contract will be developed and executed in a form acceptable to the county attorney or his designee. Awarded to Reteza LLC, amount not to exceed $551,000. Who's speaking on this item?
Actually, item number 1742.
Yeah.
Is that correct? I apologize for, I'd like to hold this item. We're still in discussions with how we want this to look long-term. So if I could hold this for 2 weeks.
Okay. For 2 weeks?
Yes.
Okay,
Quick question.
okay. Well, first of all, does anyone on the committee have any questions?
No.
No.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think the only thing that was the main thing being discussed with phase 2, because I think we said we wanted phase 1 just to go
Exactly.
forward.
That's
and
correct. That's correct. And at the last meeting, we got the dispensation to move forward with the weekly or the whatever frequency distributions. But we are, want to hone in on what does a pantry and those type of functions look like and the role.
Okay, great. And really just to clarify, Madam Chair, since you did bring it up this morning, Rataza is also the group that's doing the mobile food markets, farmers markets, which you're seeking to rescind funding to. But Zach, presumably in this contract, they have the capacity to run these programs for the next 60 days. Is that right?
Yes. So
They've already been doing it, right?
Well, thus far, we've only done one distribution. That was a week ago.
Okay, Rataza did it.
Well, we did those without Rataza's assistance, but
Okay.
they've been in the planning and the discussion. So
Okay.
we're convinced that whatever we bring forward is going to, they're going to have capacity to do it, or we won't.
Okay, so are there going to be any food in the 60-day holiday activation?
There-
Will there be activations in the next 2 weeks?
There will be. Our next distribution is on December 20th. The next scheduled distribution is December 20th. So what's that? 3 weeks, I guess.
Okay. All right. Well, I just thought that when you were presenting it, it was more than just the
And it will be.
November and December one. There was ones in between.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So the one that we did a week before Thanksgiving was one of those in between, and we're going to have others. But right now
Okay.
we have one scheduled for December 20th. There will be others, and we will, see the level of Rataza's participation in the coordination, the sourcing, and so
Okay.
forth.
Well, just because Madam Chair was concerned about it, just when you come back, just explain, or Rataza can come and explain to everyone how they work and how they, under this contract, will run these additional food distributions. Because the concern earlier this morning was they don't have the capacity to staff it. I disagree with that, but if you could just clarify that so we understand.
Sure,
what the
when we
facts
come
are.
back, we'll have it fleshed out. Here's how it's going to work. Yeah.
Okay, could you, what would that distribution be on the 20th?
Did you say when or where?
Where?
I don't know that we have specific locations. Let me double check that, but that's going to be
Okay.
similar to the one that we did a couple of weeks ago, December, the first part of this
Okay,
month.
that'll be
First part
fine.
of November.
I have a distribution on December the 20th also.
Okay.
And that is at Lou Walker
Right.
and Bruce Street.
Right,
So I
right.
just
And
want.
part of our
and I will
process will be
co-
soliciting information
yeah,
from each
I
of you
will
in terms of where you
coordinate
want it.
that
Yeah.
with you all. Okay, is there a motion?
I move to defer this item for 2 weeks.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The next item is facility management. Item 25, 16, 14, all commission districts, change order, statewide contract, contract for use by the Department of Facility Management. Contract consists of purchasing the competitively led statewide contract for Infinity Quality Construction. This request seeks to ratify a previously provided contract for increase in funds for the completion of the Maloof Annex Auditorium renovation. Awarded to Peskin S.N. Nielsen and Associate, amount not to exceed $1,247,221.
Good afternoon, Madam
Good
Chair.
afternoon.
So this request seeks to ratify the previous approved contract term and increase the funds for the actual contract for indefinite quality construction. So this is going to extend the contract term through the April 19th of 2026.
Does it increase the funding?
It's not to exceed 260,000 is what the addition to the funds, yes.
Okay.
This is adding it to the actual contract, to indefinite quantity construction contract.
Okay, so when you said amount not to exceed $1,247,000, is that the original contract?
That's including the total amount,
The
yes.
total amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The questions from the committee? No. Okay. Commissioner Long Spears.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Appreciate you being with us today. I guess you're here all the time, though.
Yes, ma'am.
We all wind down towards the end of the year. So for this item, I know it relates to the auditorium renovation that we've been working on all year long.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe that we anticipated the renovation being complete, and Mr. Williams, correct me if I'm wrong, yeah, Q1 of next year. Are we still on
Yes.
target to be complete by then?
It looks like, I think the original date was late February, by the end of February. It looks like it may be another few weeks. They've got some doors and windows that's on back order. And
Okay.
hopefully they're gonna come in by late January, but it's possible it could be pushed back another month. So that's why we're wanting to extend this work to make sure that we have time on the contract to complete.
Okay, so we're still shooting to complete
We're
by
shooting for
end
the
of
end of
Q1,
February.
March 31.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Great. Thank you very much. I yield back.
Okay. And we'll be having an update on this first of the year from still committee chair. Ops. Okay. Okay.
Robert, do you know?
Just wanted to make sure that this additional funding request is the $260,319.
Yes.
And then the 1.2 million that's quoted here that's everything all in, including the additional request right now,
Yes.
plus time. Okay.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
very much. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, and then this is a ratification, so we've already spent
Yes,
that.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Commissioner Terry.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And then what are the, Zach, maybe you know the answer, in terms of the committee room, that we discussed, is that next phase? That's not in this work, right? Yes, it's the next phase. Okay. Is that something that is that gonna be in like the facilities master plan update, or is that something that you're already working on for next budget cycle?
I think the latter, more the next budget cycle. As a matter of fact, we'll be bringing forward the phase 2 that will include the annex as well.
The annex, okay, gotcha, thank you.
Okay.
Can I follow up with
Yeah.
Just following up with Commissioner Terry's comment, y'all aren't going to put us back into another sardine can like we have right now on the 5th floor, right? We're going to have
I'm sorry.
not another sardine can, something much larger.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be a much bigger
Yes.
sardine.
Okay, a much bigger. Thank you, Zach. Thank you. Right for the heart. Thank you, sir. Okay, as long as it's bigger, it's just, particularly around winter season, I'm sick, you were sick, everybody was sick. There were staff members who weren't sick yet, but they're sick now. And, just that extra room, I think, would be appropriate.
Okay.
I
So,
understand.
thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a super quick follow-up. The gymnasium that you're putting in there, or I guess little workout area, not a full gym, would that be part of the Phase 2 annex?
That's gonna be phase 2, yes.
Okay, I know Ms. Sims has worked on that, and a few of us are excited about that. All right, thank you so much. Yield back.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve 1614.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item is approved. 1656, change order, snack and vending machine services for use by the Department of Facility Management consists of providing snack and vending machine service to various county facilities. This request seeks to extend the contract through December 31st, 2026, awarded to A-Action Janitorial Service doing business as A-Action Vending. Contract term extension only.
Yeah, this is to extend the contract for A-Action to continue vending services throughout the county. So they do like the Sam Street here, the second floor break room, and also the third floor break room at the Maloof, and all the vending across the county.
Okay. Are there any questions? Okay. Is there a motion?
I move to approve item 1656.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 251670, change order, number 9 to contract, you can read the numbers. Commercial janitorial service for use by the Department of Facility Management, Recreation, Parks, and Cultural Affairs. This contract consists of development, management, and monitoring of high-quality commercial janitorial, cleaning, custodial services, and day porters. This request seeks to increase the contract term and funds through March the 31st, 2026, awarded to Building Maintenance Service, Clean Star National, Inc., and A-Action Janitorial, total not to exceed $958,053.
Yes, this is to continue the services through March 31st. The RFP is out on the street. We're working on getting the new contract in place. So this continues services while that's being done.
Okay, are there any questions, comments? If none, is there a motion? $16.70.
Okay. Make a motion to approve agenda item 1670.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
251592, all commissioner districts change order contract number 2183 for fuel delivery with related services. Sourcewell cooperative agreement for use by Public Works Fleet Management. This contract consists of the purchase of gasoline and diesel fuel to support the operation of county vehicles in operation. This request seeks to increase contract terms through January 31st, 2027, and funds awarded to Mansfield Oil Company of Gainesville, Inc., amount not to exceed $7,500,000. And I don't think that this has come back from audit, has it?
No, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Anything you want to say about it? or-
It is just our contract. It's a renewal of our contract to get fuel to all of our 29 fuel sites that we have around the county.
Oh, okay. Well, you look mighty nice today.
Well,
You know?
well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Just made my day.
Oh, okay. Any questions, comments? Are there any, is there a motion?
Just one question. If
Okay.
we vote to continue this, I think our next meeting is on the 16th, but that's after the BOC meeting in the morning. So is this good to continue to next year? Is that going to be
Our contract is, will run till the end of January.
end of January?
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Okay, is there a motion?
I move to defer item 1592, was that 2 weeks?
To our next
To our next,
ops meeting.
a stop in our next ops meeting, so whatever BOC
Okay,
is after
that would be next week.
12, okay.
Okay.
At 12/9, is that what he said?
12/9, it'll be deferred further out from there, but that's our next meeting.
Well, if the audit comes back before then, will it need to be deferred any further? Okay, so we'll just have it on 12/9 and see if audit comes back by then.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Are you declaring that they won't be back, John? Oh, okay. Okay, well, thank you. The next item is 25.
I'll second that.
Oh, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The next item is 251594, all commission district statewide contract, truck chassis and truck bodies for use by public work fleet management for use by the department, but used by Public Works, Road, and Drainage. This request seeks to purchase from the competitively led statewide contract. You can read the number for the provisions of 2026 new international 10-foot dump trucks with plows and spreaders. 3 10-foot dump trucks with green tanks and 6 16-ounce Tenton dump trucks, also with plows and spreaders, for the purposes of transporting various types of material to and from various job sites within the county. Awarded to Rush Truck Center of Georgia, doing business as Rush Trust Center, Atlanta, amount not to exceed $2,520,242.
Yes, Madam Chair. These will be dump trucks that can also be used as sand spreaders, have sand spreaders be put in the back of them, and snow plows. There will be, that can have brine tanks put in them to spread the brine out to help to keep the ice melted. So these will be dual-purpose trucks, and these are additions to the fleet.
Okay. Any questions? Okay, if none, is there a motion?
Just one quick question, Madam
Okay.
Chair. Turnaround time from the moment we do this to receipt, you think about 18 months, is that right?
About 18 months, possibly 2 years. It's kind of a big deal with the trucks are slow getting here. They're getting better. The bodies and then having the sand spreaders too. Those are not sitting in inventory at vendors. They have to manufacture them. So I'm thinking 18 months.
Gotcha, okay. Thank you.
Okay. If nothing further, is there a motion?
I move to approve item 1594.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that item passed, 251616. Cooperative agreements or rail contract, you can read sashes and cabs with related equipment, accessories, and services for use by Public Works fleet to be used by Public Works sanitation. This request seeks to purchase from the competitively led Sourcewell contract number you can read for the provisions of 6 2026 roll-off trucks, model Kenworth 10880 for the purposes of transporting roll-off waste containers to and from various sites throughout the county, awarded to Kenworth Truck Company, doing business as MHC Kenworth Atlanta, not to exceed $2,053,168.02.
Yes, ma'am. These will be our replacement trucks for the trucks we currently have. Their trucks are about a 7-year replacement cycle. These particular trucks are about, time they get replaced will be about 9 years. We're looking at first quarter 27 on getting the delivery of these.
Okay. And are there any questions? Okay.
Is this, oh, never mind, I see it. Sanitation, I yield back.
Any questions?
Nope.
Any other questions? Okay, if it's none further, is there a motion?
Motion to approve 1616.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that item is approved. The last item is Hewlett Package Enterprise. It's 1121, All Commission District, Hewlett Package Enterprise, software license and service maintenance support, sole source by the use by the Department of Innovation and Technology, consists of purchasing proprietary hardware, software maintenance, and software licenses needed to support all county business units. This request seeks to ratify previously ordered number 504-2685 and establish a 3-year agreement for continued HPE services within the county awarded to Hewlett Packard Enterprise Company not to exceed $372,944.37.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. This request seeks approval to continue our HP hardware service agreement for an additional 3 years. Commonly referred to as the HP Care Pack, which provides comprehensive warranty coverage for both our HP and Dell servers. We currently maintain 94 standalone physical servers in our data center at West Exchange. So this agreement is just to ensure rapid enterprise-grade support, including on-site and remote repair, parts replacement, and labor, all within a 4-hour window. I mean, the goal of IT is to move towards infrastructure as a service as well as software as a service, and move to these servers in the cloud, but we do have some legacy systems that are still dependent on these physical servers. So we need this agreement for the continuity of those systems.
Okay. Are there any questions, comments? Okay, if none, is there a motion?
Motion to approve 1121.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that item is approved. And now we'll go back to our presentations. And the first status update is charter review recommendation 251577, resolution of the DeKalb County Governing Authority regarding the Charter Review Committee's report and recommended changes to the Operational Act. John, okay, if we can divide our time between the this report and the standing committee. Okay. Okay, so you ready for us?
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
So when we spoke last in committee, we went through our recommendation and the chart that we've provided that shows what we believe likely can be done via home rule and what we believe likely cannot be done via home rule. I will remind you again, devil's always in the details. The actual words we put on the page will dictate our final advice on whether something needs a referendum or not. But at this point, commissioners, I think what I need is direction from you all in terms of how you would like to tackle this project. At this point, the charter review recommendations have been in your hands for a period of time. The recommendation, I think, from the administration, CEO came and talked about the ones that she would like move forward. We have an item in front of you that allows either for the charter review recommendations in total to be sent to the legislative delegation, or for you all to select those that you can support
think
to
at
move
the,
forward.
Excuse me.
Yes.
But I think at the last ops meeting, we discussed the conversation with the state delegation. They would like to see the home rules presented to them. We are getting ready to go into the legislative session, and I thought that that's what we discussed last time, was to give us information on which items can be presented to the legislative delegation.
So, ma'am,
for
that's what the
consideration.
document that Commissioner Patrick is looking at. That's what the
Okay.
spreadsheet prepared.
Okay, so
by-
can we discuss that? Because we have a lot to go through with the entire recommendations. And like we stated last time, they were recommendations. So it's prudent to go through those. We've gotten comments from not only the board, but from previous CEOs. And so right now, if we could look at what home rule
Yes, ma'am.
recommendations that we can consider presenting to the state delegation.
So that's what the document in front of you is, ma'am.
Okay.
It divides, again, based on our initial take, what will and won't require a referendum, what can and cannot be done at this level.
Okay, so
Are
do you want to explain that, or does John need to explain it?
I'm not sure what you're asking me to explain,
Okay,
ma'am. Are you asking me to go item by item through the charter review's
For the-
recommendations?
No, just for what we can present to the legislation. I mean, to the state delegation for them to consider for home rules.
May I ask a question?
And I guess I'd like to, Mary Hinkle, yes, hold on. Mary Hinkle is here and would like to acknowledge her from the Charter Review Committee. Where are you, Mary? Oh, okay, you want to stand so everyone can see you? Thank you for being
That's
here.
Mary.
And we do appreciate your service, Mary. Okay,
May I ask a quick question?
okay. He has one
Okay.
first. Okay.
And I'm not sure if this is for John Manson or for you, Matt. When CEO was here, we had some discussions on the presiding officer, and I had made some comments about keeping the CEO's right to vote. There were some other things under Section 14 about the duties and powers. Some general notes that were made when CEO was here, and I don't see those reflected in this. Were those comments captured or reflected somewhere?
I believe they're in the minutes of the committee meeting, sir, from
Okay.
that date.
How do we take them from the minutes and then make sure that they're adopted into this document?
I can't hear you, Commissioner Patrick. What item is it specifically?
I'm sorry. If you go to the third page, Section 12, under presiding officer, it mentions eliminate subsection A relating
Oh, okay.
to the CEO's voting rights at the BEOC meetings. And the argument I had put to CEO at the time is that I actually think if we're
Break a tie?
to break a tie, if we're diminished or not full capacity, then, it is proper to have those legislative items continue to move, even if the commission itself is at a loggerhead and split evenly for some strange reason. So there was that, and then I believe there's something in chapter 14 or section 14. I'd have to reread through all of this again to catch the comments at the time, but is there a way to make sure that whatever is captured in the minutes, can we update it into this document, and then we're sort of having a conversation going forward on where we look to go?
Yes, sir. So just to kind of take a step back, we have this document that has yes and no's as far as recommendations, correct? So what the law department is trying to say is, this is our yes and no. If there's something on this list that's a no, it will absolutely require us to go to the legislature. I believe that what Commissioner Davis Johnson is looking for is a more consolidated list of those items, which we will work on. And I believe that what you're looking for is a list of the changes that the CEO recommended, which I do have in our minutes.
Okay.
But it has not been incorporated into this list.
Would it be wise to incorporate those suggested changes into here to, one, make sure the commissioners are comfortable with that, and then still going forward when the attorneys put together that list of home rule versus, I guess, referendum or legislative action?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So again, that is the list you are looking at. If you would like us to sort it differently.
But it doesn't have the comments.
I understand that it doesn't have the
And-
CEO's comments, but this is the document that tells you what we believe can be done via home rule and what we do not believe can be done via home rule.
Okay.
If you need it in a different format, or you'd like us to sort it differently or provide it differently,
Okay.
we can do that. This is that information.
Can you tell me, is section 12 something we can do by home rule, or is that something we can do, we have to do through a legislative process?
Voting rights would require, that is changing the powers of the CEO, and would require a referendum.
Okay. And is that in the yes or no area here? Because I don't see a yes or a no to go with that.
I
on page
believe
12.
it is
Or section 12.
I believe it's in the previous section. I apologize if we missed one, but no, that requires legislative action.
Okay.
Okay.
Look at this with me.
Well, they're discussing, I'm sorry, James Gubiak is here. You want to stand so that we can acknowledge you? We appreciate your service also. Is it anyone else here from the Charter Commission, the Charter Review Commission, that I may not have acknowledged? Okay, well, great. We appreciate your service. Okay, Commissioner Bolton.
Thank you. And I would like to say also, consistent with what's being suggested, I think we should extract out the items that can be worked on via home rule. Because we do see a couple items like section 12, section 16, section 19, that doesn't clearly indicate, or section 17 that says not applicable, which I would assume are things that we could do, because, for example, that says rename a section, and that might make it a little easier. And honestly, that's what I was expecting, because I know in the last meeting, it was communicated that if we work on home rule first, there might be some inadvertent consequences, or one item might impact another, and I thought we were gonna talk through some of that today, but I think it would help if we just extract out the home rule stuff and kind of go through and say yay or nay, we're gonna make this change, or we're not, and this is the impact it might have on one of the other items that have been suggested, because it seems to be just a little bit of confusion, especially when we get to the not applicables.
Right. Okay, and, yeah, that's what I expected this meeting, but, we don't have that, so, Commissioner Long-Spears,
Thank you very much.
did you
So,
have anything?
No, I'm good. Thank you, madam.
just to ensure I'm tracking with everyone, you are requesting that the more technical changes or changes that are needed to comport with state law is what you want to address now and before session begins. Is that correct?
The home rules, that I delegation can address without a referendum, is that, yeah.
Non-home
So
rule.
would it be the ones, okay, then I guess let me ask the question the other day, where it says home rule and it says yes, you want to address those today or the ones that say no, which appear to be the more technical changes, those that would comport with state law? I just want to make sure I'm tracking with what you're hoping to accomplish.
Yeah, I like to break it down. That's what we requested the last time. I would like to break that down because that's what the state delegation has requested. And let's discuss that.
Okay.
And then we may be able to get portions of that to them this year. And may be able to get all of it, but I doubt it. This is December the 2nd.
Did they give you a deadline date to provide this information?
Well, they said as soon as possible.
And session
like
will start
ASAP.
on what?
And that's been.
January 12th.
January 12th? Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
and that's been like maybe 3 weeks ago, John? Yeah,
About
that's
6
been like
weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks ago. And that's the reason I asked that at the last ops meeting. So I don't know why it was not broken down for this meeting, because I specifically asked for that.
I didn't understand that, Commissioner. My
Okay.
apologies.
That's okay.
Again, I would like to clarify two things. One, I cannot give you a definitive, all-inclusive list that says, yes, it will be home rule or no, it will not, because the devils are in the details. It depends on exactly what you want to change. If I break it down the way you're asking, there will be a category of clear yeses and a category of clear no's, but there will also be a lot of gray area.
Okay, that'll
That's-
be fine.
That's number one. Number two, I would like to clarify again, home rule means you can change it.
Okay,
So I'm just a little confused, but I will be happy to do what you've asked me to do.
okay.
But there is no need to transmit things to the legislature
We can change.
that you all can change.
Okay,
What
well, I'm
needs-
just saying what they told me.
Yes, ma'am.
So if we can change it, then I'll tell them that we can change it. But they tend to think that is some things on this list that they can change through their delegation.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
if that's not true,
They can change all of it.
you can just let us know that. And some things have to be voted on by the entire legislature.
All of
But-
them, yes.
All of it would have to be voted on by the entire legislature, and certain pieces of it would then require voter referendum. Every piece of this
Okay.
could be done by the legislature. Some pieces
So
of it can
none
be done by
by-
you without legislative intervention.
Okay, well then, that's what I'll let them know, because it was not my suggestion, it was their suggestion.
Confusing.
So they evidently felt that some of it could just be done through the delegation. So if that's not true, that's fine. So let's just bring that
I have a
back.
question.
Okay,
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I think it was like 3 meetings ago that the law department said you would prefer for us to have all of the changes done at once by the legislature. And what I've heard just now is now we are talking about breaking it up and doing our own home rule changes, and maybe this session also asking them to do legislative changes, which, correct me if I'm wrong, Attorney Welch, you said the concern about that is you have 2 different changes happening simultaneously, one that we would do, one that the legislature would do, and there could be unintended consequences because you're drafting them in 2 different bodies, changing laws in our, that, you know, aside from the referendum side. So I was under the impression that we're just trying to get all the changes we want, home rule or not, and then ask the legislature to just do it all in one change from their side. They can also change home rule as well, correct?
Yes, sir. Our advice has consistently been, from our perspective, as you just said, you're kind of tempting fate and the rule of unintended consequences to move it separately.
Okay.
And yes, as I just said, the legislature has the power to address every single recommendation in this packet. Now,
Okay.
it can be handled the other way. We take our direction from you, we simply give advice.
Okay. Well, I thought, Madam Chair, I thought, I'd like us just to stick to a course of action, because we've changed it now a few times and we're kind of going around in circles and we haven't actually even really talked about the changes. The only thing I'd say though is just a request is please, if we're not making major changes to the org act, let's not recommend changes that require a referendum. I don't know about you, but I don't want to spend next year during a Senate election trying to explain to someone why they need to support allowing the CEO to vote to break a tie. Like, that to me is just such a minor thing. We're not changing the form of government. We're not changing the CEO's power. Let's just stick within what the Charter Review Commission recommended, was just making changes that didn't require a referendum. We're making this way too complicated. We have recommendations. A lot of them are cleanup. We're not making any major changes, so let's just not dwell and overanalyze something that's mostly straightforward. We're cleaning up some sections to comport with state law. We're clarifying some things. But we could spend a whole nother year talking about this.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Terry. And I'll say this, that I have stated my position from day one as chair of this committee. I understand what your preference may be, but I've stated, so it has not changed. And I brought back what the legislature, what the delegation said to me. So, John, if you understand what I'm saying, if you could convey that to to Matthew, and of course, Matthew, if there's any question about my position, please call me. So when we come back to the committee, that we'll be prepared to proceed.
All right.
Okay, Commissioner.
Just for clarity's sake, we had different CEOs come out here and give their comments and opinions on things. Our CEO had a conversation about a couple items I just mentioned. When will that be incorporated into a document that we then look at and say, send this up to the legislature?
So, commissioners, just so we all have a clear understanding, and I know Commissioner Terry had a different thought, but what I'm hearing from you all is that we want an updated version of this document that
Yes.
clearly states what is home rule versus what is something that would need to be changed by referendum. And then we would like to incorporate CEO comments, specifically CEO Cochran Johnson's comments, into this document so that we can look at it all together.
Correct.
And CEO Thurman's comments
Yes, ma'am.
as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I mean, that's why we invited here, to get their input on it, so.
The thing that I wanted to clarify is, if we address the home rule items first, are you saying you think that would delay the process or cause some unnecessary hiccups? Is that the concern?
The concern is simply that the org act works as one entire document, and there are internal references, and some sections rely on other sections. So changing one section while there is a request pending in front of the legislature or the voters to potentially change another section, and we don't know if it's going to be approved, could potentially lead to conflict. That is this, in simplest possible terms, that is our concern. This document is, the org act is one thing. It needs to be able to be read as one thing without internal conflict. And so addressing the document in its entirety made sense to us from a legal perspective. Again, there is no legal prohibition on you all addressing 1, 2, 10, 100 pieces of it, as long as it's fits under your home rule powers.
Okay. And with that, have we identified the items that could have that potential conflict versus those that seem like they're a bit safer?
I mean, to build a rubric like that, what our hope was that we would discuss the individual items and we could talk about how they might impact others. But in a vacuum, I mean, for example, there's a suggestion in here that requirements be changed to match state law for both you all to qualify for elective office and for the CEO. There is a universe in which one of those is approved and one of them isn't, and our org act then is internally inconsistent with requirements for various folks, various elected officials, okay? It's a very simple example, but this is I can't tell you as I sit here, changing a word here is going to affect all these other portions of the org act. I have to know what you want to change to tell you what the impact would be. So
No, that's understood.
it's feeling a little bit circular to me, and it would be, I can answer those questions when we start to address the things that you all actually want to change. Then we can talk about what other sections that might implicate or might need to be changed, or potentially code sections that might need to be changed to comport with changes made to the org act. It's a much bigger question than do we have the power to change this? It's what is the impact if we change it? And
Okay.
until I know the
That's-
change, I can't answer the impact question.
Okay, that's understood. And well, you said a key thing just now in your statement. You said, I thought we were gonna talk through each one of those lines, but that's what we thought as well. That's what the circular conversation seems to be right now, but we haven't started talking through anything, as Commissioner Terry indicated. But the one thing that isn't on here, that was a recommendation from the committee, is that if we can move items forward without moving forward everything at one time, it was clearly communicated that that's what they would like to see, because they've been waiting a long time. And if we can move some of these forward, they would like to see them moved forward, as opposed to waiting an extended period of time to get through every item, which is why I was trying to clarify. Can we move some things without there being a conflict with some other items that have been recommended for a change?
And I would just add to that, if we can separate those and have all, and I understand what you're saying, make sure that everything is inclusive, because it could have an effect. But if we can look at the home rule and, let us know if there is a possible conflict, then I think that we'll be able to move through it. And so if you take those out and look at them, and before you even come to us, you can say, well, if you do this, this may need to happen here. Then we understand that. We can just bypass it. But if there's something that can just be changed by home rule, even if you feel that we should submit everything at once, I'm fine with that. But the process is what I'm trying to get to now. And if you say that is nothing that we can give to the state delegation, then that's fine. I don't know why they would ask me that if they felt like it was nothing that they could do as a state delegation under these rules. But if you say we can't, I tell them it's nothing that they can do.
They can change everything.
But I don't know that. I would assume they thought they did. They thought that they had the power to do something.
Yes, they do. They can change everything. That's the whole point.
I'm talking about the delegation.
I'm just trying to add some clarity.
Excuse me, you haven't been recognized. Okay, so if you could do that for me in the next meeting, which is the 9th, the 16th. Bring that back, and we'll be ready to continue discussions.
I have a compromise proposal, Madam Chair. So since you're very interested in the home rule changes, why don't we just do this? Why don't we just focus over the next couple of months on home rule changes? We can make those changes, and then the next legislative session, anything that's left that isn't home rule, we could ask the delegation to take up those. That way we're not having two change processes happening at the exact same time. Attorney Welch is concerned that we're talking about making home rule changes while the legislature is making their own changes at the same time. So if the concern is let's take care of home rule, let's just do home rule first. The legislature does not need to be involved in that. Anything that's left, we can address at the next available session. Does that make sense?
I thought you wanted to do it at once. I thought your preference was to do it at once.
I know, I'm compromising with you because you said you want to do home rule first.
Yeah, I thought you wanted to compromise it at first. But we'll discuss this next week, and Matthew, you have an understanding of what the committee wants?
Yes, ma'am. I may not be able to give definitive answers in every situation, but we'll do our best.
Okay, appreciate that. Okay, thank you. We don't need, excuse me, we don't need anything on that, John?
No, ma'am, it can be held in committee.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
hold it in committee. Okay, let's go to the standing procedure rules.
Yes, ma'am. Let's see, I believe that we left off, we did inclement, no, I think we were doing inclement weather. That would be on page 3 of your document, number 9.
Okay, does anyone have any comments on that one? Okay. Commission. On page 3-9, that's the increment weather. I think that you made a recommendation.
Yes, ma'am, I sure did. So my recommendation there was to, if we do have inclement weather and the county decides to close the county buildings, is that instead we can have our meetings via Zoom or a Teams meeting. So that's really the spirit of this one. And Open Meetings Act applies to commission meetings, but the commission will allow attendance via teleconference, Zoom, or other electronic means so long as such attendance complies with the requirements of the Open Meetings Act as is codified today or may be hereafter amended. So giving us some flexibility during bad weather.
Does anyone have any comments on that? And the staff, Zach, the staff would have that capability as well, because we would need the staff in addition to the board.
Yes. We would be able to do that.
Does anyone have any problems with that? Okay,
Just
that's
that-
fine. Okay,
Just to ask, so right now, state law does not allow us to do,
do who?
state law as of right now does not allow us to have electronic meetings, correct?
As I follow your discussion, Commissioner, if there is a state of emergency due to inclement weather, then you would be able to have a remote meeting. The trigger under state law would be the state declaring a state of emergency or the county declaring a state of emergency. In some instances, you may even have the federal government declare a state of emergency. But that state of emergency has to be declared to have the remote meeting.
And just for clarity, what we have as current language right now under inclement weather is what gave us the ability to operate in Zoom during the pandemic without any other enabling language, correct?
I don't know, I'd have to go and compare this back to then, but what I heard Mr. Mansing go over just now, there is the qualifier in your language that it has to comply with state law. So I just stated what the trigger would be under state law. It is that state of emergency.
Okay.
At the last committee meeting, Attorney Wells spoke to that change in state law that would allow, it wasn't like that before COVID. So that's where this language comes from.
Yeah.
And might I chime in? Thank you. Okay, so again, the original language, in the event of inclement weather that would preclude a meeting of the board, the decision to cancel the meeting shall be based upon the closure of county operations. I hope that the language I suggested would open that up so we wouldn't have to cancel a meeting, that we can just hold it virtually, so that county operations can continue during bad weather.
Anyone have any objection to that? Okay.
Not an objection, I do have a question.
Question.
If, hold on, let me go back to that. If the county operations are closed, doesn't that include IT and DCTV and all the departments we would use to go virtual?
I just asked Zach, would the county, would the administration be able to have the capacity to be on those Zoom calls? And he said, yes.
So
Okay, that's what you were referring to when you said yes. Even though operations are closed, you will open for the meeting.
They can support it.
So, Commissioner, and if I may, this would be, and we spoke to this last time, but county operations closing, it may close a building, but the operations of the county wouldn't exactly close. So that's kind of what this speaks to.
Okay.
And everyone has a computer that they can,
And they would be able to support us remotely. They wouldn't have to come in office so we could have a virtual meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I yield back.
okay. So, are we good with that?
Yes.
Okay. Any objections? No, okay. Okay, so the next one is 11 parliamentary rules for reading of purpose for agenda. A motion should be heard, now any action taken on the agenda without a full reading by the chair of the listed subject and purpose for the agenda item. We already do that?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
So what is
There was additional language added for this section that speaks to the consent agenda. And that language was added for clarity, just to speak to the consent.
and what
agenda.
is that language?
This rule shall not apply to the consent agenda, which can be adopted in whole or in part through a single motion and with a single reference to the details that are included in the printed agenda.
Okay.
May I speak to that, please? Thank you, Madam Chair. So my purpose for adding that additional statement was to hopefully reduce the length of the meetings down. I'm always looking for efficiencies and ways that we can get through our agenda faster. So this would give us that option through a single motion to adopt the consent agenda, instead of having to go through every item, which is what we currently do. If the committee would consider that.
Okay, and is that, so legal, is that feasible to just go through with the numbers? Is that what you're saying, rather than the agenda item?
Yes, ma'am. So either the numbers themselves or just through a single motion to adopt the entire consent agenda. So instead of going like 2025, 1034, 2025, 1046, instead someone makes a motion to adopt the entire consent. And if we need to take an item out of that, we just remove it out, we'll go back and address it.
Okay,
May I
Okay.
respond?
yeah,
In the context you're discussing it, yes, I believe Robert's rules allows that.
okay.
Okay?
But if somebody, we need to take it out. Okay. Okay, we need to take item, okay, okay. Anyone have any comments or have an objection on that?
Just out of curiosity, since we have some commissioners that aren't here but have made comments, John, do you know sort of the rationale that Commissioner Masai had for just revert to the original language? And the same one for this next one and this the previous one as well. There were commissioners that had comments and just want to, do we know what their perspective was?
For Commissioner Messiah, she didn't give a lot of extra detail, just that the original language should be sufficient. And I think for the last one, it was the same for Commissioner Shakira Johnson and the same for the next one for Commissioner Shakira
Okay,
Johnson.
let's get to the next one.
Yes, ma'am.
Because-
So that would be agenda item, number 3, agenda and preliminary items, agenda
Yeah,
publication.
so what are we saying about the parliamentary rules? What, does anyone have any further comments on the parliamentary rule?
Are you talking about agenda and preliminary items, agenda publication, or the full reading and
No,
purpose for
the-
agenda
no,
item?
Number 4.
Number 4. Number 4.
Yeah, so the full reading and purpose for agenda item, I'm not on the committee, but I'm in support of it.
Yeah.
But I'm the one that made the
Yeah,
recommendation.
I'm saying, are you in support of it? Oh, yes. Yeah. Are you
Yeah,
in support of it?
that's fine.
Next is marked as.
Okay, I don't, let me say this, that would be, we can, we've consented on that. We need to hear from, Nicole Messiah, Commissioner Messiah,
Yes, ma'am.
to see if anybody wants to pull their consent. But pretty much, we've considered on that one. Okay, what about, the next one is agenda and preliminary items.
Yes, ma'am. The main change in this one was the capitalization of presiding officer. And then there was also a recommended suggestion to add language that states that the board will take a lunch break from 12 to 1, and that it will be printed on the agenda.
I'm sorry,
The board will take a lunch break from 12 to 1, and it will be printed on the agenda. And that's actually something that we have in practice now. It's a line on our agenda.
and, I would just say may. Because sometimes we'll go a little bit past 12. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am. No, that works for me. And the capitalization of presiding officer, that wasn't me, so I don't really care if you want to leave it capitalized or not. But it is
Yeah,
nice to have it on the
yeah.
agenda, the 12 to 1, but may makes sense, because sometimes we do go to like 12:10.
Yeah.
12:05.
And presiding office is directed to a specific person, so I don't have any problem with the
Yes, ma'am.
capitalization of it.
And then, as you said, in the statement, change it to may, not will, or.
Yeah, may,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
May take a break. Okay, got it.
may take a break. Is that strong enough? Okay. May take a break, okay.
We've been doing it in practice anyways, to be honest.
The next section is.
I have a comment.
Okay.
On
Uh-huh.
that one, I do agree that I'm okay with putting a version of this statement, but I think we should remove the time. Just say the board may take a break for lunch, and it will be printed on the agenda, because the next presiding officer may decide 12:30 is better. But I think we should remove the specific time.
Commenting on what you say, I think that's the purpose of may. But given a suggested time of 12, because if we don't put any time there, we went all day without taking a break. And staff needs a break, and so do we need a break that is reasonable, and usually lunch is at 12. But if it needs to be after that time, that's the reason May is there. if you don't put any time, we may go through the whole agenda
Oh.
that we used to and not have. It was when I came in that I said, look, we got to let staff get a break. Because we was going from 9 to 5 with no break. And that's the reason I said, look, we need to at least try to adjourn by 12. And if you got May, that doesn't mean that you will, but there's a suggested time there.
Okay. I don't think we should put a time, but if the consensus is we want the time in there, that's fine. I'm not gonna fight it.
I'm fine with no time being put in there. And I think it's a motivating factor for the commission to work to get things done as opposed to make it to noon, have a lunch break to recharge, and then power up till 5 or 6 o'clock like we did one time. And so I sort of feel like the motivation should be to get it done, to be respectful of the people's time, mindful of the taxpayers' money that's being spent when everyone's in this room. And so I'm with you. If there's an option for the presiding officer to take a break, that's fine, but really, the job should be get it done. Go through the agenda, be timely, be efficient, be effective, and get it done. Thank you.
Okay, and I just like to say this behind that. You have human beings here, you know, that have to use their brain and their physical stamina to get through these meetings. And what you're saying that if you work here and if we decide to go through a whole, I mean, that you should be able to do so. You know, I think that's inhumane, but if you all feel it ain't, then my vote is no, but.
No, we want the break. I just don't want to be beholden to this time period.
Okay.
In the event we decide based on how the agenda is aligned, it might be best to do a next few items before breaking. Then I want us to have the flexibility. I don't want because you know some folks will say, no, your break needs to be between 12 and 1 if you're going to take a break. I just don't
Okay.
want to be beholden to that.
Okay, so,
But I want my break. I just want to make that clear.
okay, let me see. Which one was that? Was that number 3?
Yes, Roman numeral 3, item 1.
Second
Okay.
item on page 4.
Okay, so, yeah, so that can just
I have
come
a,
before.
may I just make
Yeah.
maybe possibly a compromise? What if you did something along the lines that states that the board may take a break for lunch from 12 to 1 p.m., perhaps in parentheses or as announced by the presiding officer? That's the only thing.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, any of the above is fine with me. I'm just looking for a compromise between you guys.
Oh, is that a compromise?
I'm going to go with my colleague, Commissioner Shakira Johnson, revert to the original language. That's what I'm going to do.
And what's the original?
The commission, through the presiding officer or designee, shall issue calls for agenda items and shall prepare and publish a listing of those items, and the same shall serve as the agenda for the commission. That's it.
Well, we have to just vote on that one. So we'll just bring that back to vote on.
Yes,
With the whole commission.
So for this item then, just making sure I'm tracking, the highlighted section which speaks to the lunch break, you don't want to address that right now. He wants to
mean-
just maintain the original language, which is the bolded language.
No,
Okay,
we
is that-
want to bring it back before the whole commission.
Oh, okay, so we're just going to
Because-
hold the decision
yeah,
on this
we're
one, so
gonna
no
hold the
committee.
decision
Okay,
on
thank
that
you.
one.
So no decision. Thank you. Okay, no decisions.
Y'all look cool. Okay, the next one is,
Yes, ma'am. Top of page 5. This one is also capitalization. There was no
That's it.
major language change.
oh, is that it?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that the only thing in here?
Yes, ma'am, for
Is
that one.
Okay, well, if we've already said that PO is fine to be capitalized.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
So we don't even have to deal with that. That's fine.
Okay.
There's no other language in there.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am. Moving on, letter C, in the absence of a committee of the whole, the presiding officer may set the agenda and assign items to committee. There was a suggested language change to add language that speaks to assigning items to the regular Board of Commissioners agenda or a committee.
Say that again.
In the absence of the committee of the whole, the presiding officer shall set the agenda and assign items to the regular Board of Commissioners agenda or a committee.
And,
If I may, Madam Chair,
okay.
is the main idea really this is changing from may to shall? Is that really the focus here?
Yes.
Okay.
And you stated you would like to see it revert to the original language.
Yeah.
The code said revert to original language, remove regular BOC language. She said revert to original language. What are your thoughts, Commissioner Bolton?
I don't have a whole lot with that one, but I would be, I do have reservations about regular Board of Commissioners meeting because this excludes, or it sounds like it excludes special called, but if that was the point, then understood.
Are you finished?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, actually, and it's 2:28.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
This is gonna be our last one.
All
We
right.
got we got 2 minutes left.
Just briefly, I don't feel strongly either way on this. There was the suggestion of changing it from may to shall, and then just adding a little bit more detail about the specific meeting that we're talking about, which is the Board of Commissioners agenda or a committee. But I'll certainly defer to the committee's recommendation on this item.
Yeah, I'm reverting it back if it's fine with everyone. You don't have any.
Yeah, the only thing that concerns me about not changing the word from may to shall, because what if the presiding officer just doesn't do it? You know, may is kind of a loose word. They may decide to do it, they may decide not to do it. So I'm thinking that it needs to be shall do it as a responsibility of the presiding officer in the absence of a COW meeting. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If I may, I think the idea though is the presiding officer has otherwise the obligation to follow through with committees of the whole.
Say that again?
We're still required to have a committee of the whole. There's still the expectation to have a committee of the whole. So
But it doesn't always
if you
happen.
don't have a committee of the whole, that's when the presiding officer may step in and say, we're just going to go ahead and send these on to committee versus,
No.
yes.
Well,
that's-
my
that's-
opinion is
That was the
that.
practice before.
Commissioner Patrick, can I respond? We're not
Okay.
arguing
I don't know.
here.
I
I'm
feel
simply
like
just
we have
saying
a
in the
chair
month
here
of
that talks
November,
to us
we
about
have
these
one
issues.
committee of the whole. In the
Right.
month of December, we have one committee of the whole. However, in both of those months, we have 2 business meetings.
Which are
So the way
required.
that's happened is that the presiding officer meets with the staff, including Mr. Manson, and we set the agenda. So my point here, I think, is honestly very simple, is that instead of leaving any interpretation of what may be, is that shall set it, just identifies in the statement that's the responsibility of the presiding officer in the absence of a cow to do so. That was it.
Yeah. I disagree. Thank you.
You're welcome to.
May I suggest that we come back to this one? I'd like to review this language
Oh,
further.
okay.
And then
Okay.
we will start at
We'll hold
section
this one.
F on page 5 when we
Okay.
come back.
Okay. We come back on the
16th.
16th.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
All right. Thank you, Commissioners.
thank you. And so you know what, we'll start back.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Next meeting, we'll start with the, start first with the,
we'll flip them again. Yes, ma'am.
Luba Cruz Committee. Okay.
Motion
Is
to,
there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.